So, Lakia, this is a part two. Some kind of way I done deleted. I mean, not deleted, but cut off the video. So, I'm gonna read a little bit of the article. It shouldn't be a long lesson because again, it's just going into prophecy. Prophecy. The scripture said that it's gonna be hard times. When you go into 2 Timothy chapter 3, it talks about in the last days shall be perilous. You go into the word perilous, it breaks down to fierce, violent, or fierce, or dangerous rather. So, like dangerous or fierce. Hard to bear, hard to do. So it's going to be hard to live, you know. So it reads, Geico to lay off 6% of workforce nationwide, internal letter confirms. Buffalo, New York, Geico is cutting its total workforce by 6%, laying off roughly 2,000 of its employees as of Thursday. So 6%, they don't want to say 2,000 people. They say 6%. So showing you how great of a number that Geico employs. Like I was greater number of people that Geico employs. But I was looking into it was talking about Amazon, and Amazon's rolling out all these robots. I think they said like 750,000. Now the thing is, when you go into how many people Amazon worldwide employs, it's in the millions. So when they start cutting jobs, just which they have, you got to remember, at one point, a lot of these companies was like diversifying their workforce. You have had jobs letting people go and laying off, and for the last couple years. So I'm gonna read a little bit of this. It says Buffalo, New York. I read that part. It says of roughly 2,000 of its employees as of Thursday, according to a letter from the auto insurance company CEO. This is a very difficult decision. This very difficult decision was not taken lightly. We recognize we're saying goodbye to beloved colleagues and friends, and as a leadership team, we are committed to supporting those affected in the days ahead. CEO Todd Combs wrote in the letter, which was obtained by Nexstars WIVB. Now the thing is this, if I'm not mistaken, I may be mistaken, but I believe they were saying, matter of fact, it was, I believe, the John Williams, because again, I got this information from that guy, John Williams, the economist, and he was saying how either it was in the comment section or he came out and said it, that it was somebody that family member worked at Geico, and when they laid him off, they not only laid him off, but they gave him like a severance package. Well, usually when they do that, when they're laying you off, that's mean that you no longer have a job. That's their way of paying you off. You know what I mean? Like, Combs said he helps to better position Geico for long-term profitability and growth. And that's why all these companies, again, are diversifying, because they understand rocky times are coming. Everybody sees what's coming except for you Babylonians, and that goes for especially 2/3 of our people, you know what I mean? Like, they don't really see what's about to take place. Those affected by the sudden decision to let employees go will be contacted Thursday, according to the letter. Hey, so you ain't gonna know, you're gonna find out by a letter. Your whole life about to change based on that. You know what I mean? Because again, this is a life-changing thing, especially if you're a person that put years of your life into it. You know what I mean? So if you're going to sacrifice, I'll be thinking about this at the job I'm at, and I work around a person that then gave like 30 years of their life to it. And, at the end of the day, when I listen to this individual story of mine, it's kind of similar, although it's similarities, and of course it's like a lot of differences. Major ones at that, but certain things are similar. And the thing is that what I know now, that I wouldn't have knew back then, of course, everything glitters not gold though. I remember hearing that as a nigga in the world. If I was going to give my time and my life to anything, it would be this. Because look at these jobs. You got a lot of individuals angry because they feel betrayed by these jobs, like those people that work for Yellow Freight. And the funniest part about this is, now I don't know if that's before they laid people off or whatnot, but I was going through my Indeed resume, my Indeed website, because they help you, you got employers that can message you. and it was somebody from Yellow Freight that offered me a job. So it was like, because I didn't even know you had Yellow Freight. I mean, I knew they was in Ohio, but I think it was like somewhere like Akron or Lakewood, somewhere not that far from us. So, again, if they gave you a severance packet, that means that they're washing their hands of the situation, like how Frank Hill off of Goodfellas, the one mob boss, gave him a couple $1,000s. Like, basically gave him that money. I know he felt some kind of way too, because remember, he the same was snitched on him. He was just in the courtroom. His name was Paulie. I'll never forget that. And you could just see Paulie's face. He looked like he wanted to kill him in the courtroom. He had love for him, so he still tried to look out for him, but he like, I got to wash my hands of you. He gave him that money. And that's what they did to them. They with the severance packet. You know what I mean? It'll be just like how Ford was, when Ford basically laid everybody off and whatnot, and then they basically rehired, but they rehired people at the lower wages. The letter did not provide specific reasons for Thursday's layoffs, but Combs did say inflation, prolonged turnaround for repairs due to staffing or supply shortages, and rising medical costs had recently posed challenges for the company. Despite these historic challenges, we have made great progress in returning Geico to profitability and establishing a foundation for growth while increasing our agility and strengthening the long-term, Combs wrote. Because at the end of the day, these big corporations are all about profit. They're all about money. And who runs most of these countries? Esau Edom. He all about the increase, what I mean? When you read Habakkuk chapter 2. Book of Habakkuk chapter 2. In verse 5, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine. Who is that he? Esau Edom, the red Hebrew Edomite, the red man. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desires hell. This man cannot be satisfied by what he's given. And every nation had a portion given to them from the Most High. And who is the individual that wanted to just conquer the whole land? You had the Romans, you had Alexander the Great, and now you got this fucking Edomite, these devils that the Bible speak of. It says, and as is as death, it cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. So, again, it's all about profits with these devils. You know what I mean? They creating a system where, who's going to be in charge, tells you what Meyer Amschel Rothschild said. He said, give me controls of a nation's money and I care not who make their laws. So, them laws don't really fucking matter who's in authority, because he looking at it like you're going to have to come for me for the money any fucking way. Makes me think of something that Pimp C said. He said, fuck the fame, give me the money. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, with that being said, this is the book of Isaiah, because, again, I keep saying it constantly. You're going to have more and more job layoffs because, because it's going to be a lack of jobs. The scriptures talk about it, That's going to add to, a famine, because it's going to be a famine of work and jobs, and that's going to help increase that famine. Because some people going to eat, I was listening to the elder Apostle Tahar say that. You're going to have places that's going to be doing all right. You're going to have places that's going to be fucked up. But that's going to add to the lack of money, of living, It's going to add to the hard times, put it like that. Back in Isaiah chapter 19, I'm going to start at verse 14, and it reads, the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err, and every work thereof as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Verse 15, neither shall there be any work for Egypt which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. Verse 16, in that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and they shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Of host which he shaketh over it. So the Lord is shaking this place by these different prophecies and by these different plagues and pestilences. Just like he said he was going to do. That's what, like I said, again, the lack of work is a plague. You know, the lack of food is a plague. You know, this increase in violence, you know. You know, that whole CV thing, that was a pestilence, a plague. You know, so at the end of the day, knowing that the Lord is doing these things and knowing that what time you're in, you know, scriptures talk about you could discern the seasons, but you could not discern the times that you're living in, you know. Like the scriptures is the measuring tool to discern what time we're living in, where the world is at, you know. The scriptures basically are it is the tool being used to measure this. This is the book of Romans chapter 13 and verse 11, and it reads, and that knowing the time that now is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than we believe. So we know that what time we're living in because we're measuring the time by the scriptures. You know, we're matching the prophecies up with what's going on in the world. So, you know, scriptures also talk about knowing what time, what man ought he to be. I believe that's in Peter, you know. So being that we know what time we're living in, what should you be trying to do? If you're a so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, you should be trying to get back in good graces with your power, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. You know, you should be repenting, you know, meaning how Yahushua said, he told that woman to sin no more. So once you recognize and repent, you know, sincerely apologize for you going off and doing wickedness, you're supposed to not do it anymore. You know, and you're supposed to cleave onto this truth, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it tells you in the scriptures, the wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time. You know, it talks about store up your treasures in heaven where moth and rust do not corrupt. Because this place, the riches will be corrupted. James chapter 5 tells you that your riches are corrupted. And the money is basically corrupted. So your riches, your wealth of this world is corrupted. You know what I mean? That's why scriptures tell you not to love this world. Love not the world nor the things that are in the world. For the love of the world is not of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, roughly paraphrased. I'm going to end it with this because at the end of the day, scriptures tell you that this is the book of Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 5, because it reads, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, power and evil when only evil behold is come. Because bad times is the only thing that's about to come. You know, you skip down to verse 25 and it says, destruction cometh and they shall see peace and there shall be none. So people are going to be seeking peace, but they're not going to receive any, you know what I mean? You know, the scriptures talk about the wicked's prayer is abomination to the Most High, you know. Those that the Most High is dealing with, those are the ones that's going to be protected, you know. That's going to be preserved, you know, while the rest of the world is going to be judged. If you're so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the laws, statutes, commandments of your power, which your name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, or you will be destroyed. With that, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to God, Loyam, La Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem, Rachakodas B'tah. Double honors to my apostles, the elders of the great millstone who teach and do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Aqua, thought they're listening and learning. Lord willing, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad and all the other nations appearing like the other nations, subscribing to this truth. To you, I say shalom. So next time I'm able to come with another lesson, shalom, shalom, and watch Labba Ball, shalom.